Beginning in 1, 2, 3. A delightful morning to honorable jury members, fellow debaters, and the lovely audience. I am Sheen Tyagi of Team 13 and I am speaking for the motion being progress of a nation lies in its military might. Diplomacy without military might is like music without instruments, said Frederick, King of Russia, and I quote. Let us imagine a situation where countries are unprotected, where they don't have weapons and armies to defend themselves, and where people live under a constant state of fear. It sounds dangerous, impractical, and nonsensical. And that is because military might is equals to progress is factually correct. Let me tell you how. Researchers and policymakers alike recognize the fact that using military and economic resources is one of the best ways to measure power and progress. Power is easier to experience than to determine or measure. Yet to do so, one has to use economically feasible and deducible factors like military capabilities and resources to understand a country's standing in the global rat race for power. Progress is also largely unobservable and context-dependent. And so, military might, economic development in the context of GDP, and Progress is also largely unobservable and context-dependent. And so, military might, economic development in the context of GDP, and foreign trade are the most commonly used resources to understand a country's standing in the global context. It is also proven that countries like USA, UK, Russia, France, and Germany have the strongest of military, and they are also the most advanced countries in the world. The bond between military might and progress seems indisputable. It is also known, according to World Population Review, that countries like Sweden, Finland, Norway, Ukraine, Russia, USA, Singapore, and Switzerland have compulsory military training in their countries. Why is that so? This is because these countries understand the fact that having military trained personnel is an asset as compared to being a waste of resources or a futile exercise. Hence, having a strong military might in countries help the country being progressed, having power, having their social standing, but more importantly, their safety and self-reliance. On this note, I conclude my speech. Thank you.
From Team 11 again, and my question is to the speaker speaking for the motion. You mentioned some countries such as USA, UK, France, and Germany having military might, but actually Germany has only 60,000 active personnel in its army. And how is it military might? Because Germany, after World War II, actually demilitarized again under the treaty and its own records to actually go and develop its own country, and now it's under the NATO and one of the most developed countries in Europe. So how do you justify your statement?
Thank you, Interjector, for your question. To answer it, Germany does have 60,000 personnel, but they also have weapons and their armies are very strong. Also, they have training for citizens so that they can help the country in case there is a situation of emergency. And that is the reason why having military training in countries is super important, so that these countries do have a support, a backup situation if they do need these armies. So that was actually mentioned in my debate, but thank you for your question.